Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the bus entries or bus connections. Why we want to use a bus connection? Well, maybe you want to maintain all of the same characteristic of some of the traces of some of the connection that you have within your components to be within the same directives, or maybe you prefer some fast routing. Like for example, if you go to the PCB2 and if you go to here, you can see like there's interactive multi-routing. So if you have a bunch of classes within the same wire or maybe whatever it is, you can route them within the same click kinda. So it's pretty cool. But there's maybe more reasons you may want to create bus for maybe cable management or whatever it is. Well, let's learn how can we do all of this thing. So first of all, I have created these wires, and the reason is you must need a wire. How can you create a bus if you don't have a wire? So we first have to create these wires, and now I wanna name them. I wanna name something simple. Well, D4 works. Okay, I'm gonna name them D4. Now I'm gonna also hold shift, click down D5, hold shift, click down D6, D7, D8. Now I have this thing, and now I want to go here and place the bus entries. No. Okay, think about this. This is you, this is your friend, this is your other friends, and now you guys in the bus terminal are trying to catch the bus. So now we have to write or have to draw the bus terminology, or probably you can say like what? Maybe a road of the bus or whatever it is. Okay, so now this is you see your friends, and now this is the bus road, but the bus needs to have a destination, like where it's going, right? So now we have to give the bus a port to tell them who you are, which class you belong, where you're going next. So we have to place a port, but the problem is you have a very weird name here. This doesn't really match with what belongs or what are your passengers. So you have to change this thing to something that Altium can recognize. So since we have D4 to D8, we can just say D. Now we can give it bracket. And now we can say that, well, we don't need a bracket. You can just do D, well, actually do D bracket 4 dot dot or period 8 and in the bracket. Now if I change it, you can see like the whole warning has now vanished. Pretty good. So well, now the second question is, that's cool, but how can I see that it's doing something? By the way, you have to always compile your project so that whatever you made a change is now reflecting on your schematic so they can view them well. So let's go to Navigator. So if you go to the Navigator, and if you go up here, now you can see that the D4, D5, D6, D7, D8 has its own net, and they are under the same bus, which is N4 to 8. You can also see them on your PCB net class as well. So if I go to design, update the PCB documents, and if I go change, validate the changes, execute the changes, if I go to the design and classes, and now you can see, here you go. Now you can see it created a net class, which is cool, which is very cool. So it has its own net class. Now, the third question arises that, okay, how can I use it to my other components? Or maybe I want to connect the D48 to my next components, or maybe I want to transfer that to a next sheet. Now how can I do that? Well, let's go to sheet 2, and the sheet 2 I have the same ESP32, and I want, for example, I want to connect all of those nets to GPIO 9. So you may think, oh, okay, let's create the wire, and now let's place a port. Well, place a port. Now we want to connect what? We want to connect D4 to 8. And now you are like, I'm so happy it's gonna work, right? But guess what? It comes with an error. It's telling you that mismatched bus or wire object on wire/bus. So if you have a bus, you have to create a bus again to connect them. You can't just create a wire and hope that it's gonna do well. So now let's go here and let's create a bus again. Now I'm gonna connect them. Here we go. Whoops, the warning is gone. Pretty good, pretty good. Well, you can also have a bus entry, right? You can have a bus entry here, and now you can also go here, create a bus, and now you can also connect them in this way as well. It's gonna work. Well, that's it for this video. Next, we're gonna learn about the harness, and we're gonna talk some cool things about it. So see you in the next video.